Good. All well, all perky, ready to rock and roll, moving well. Pilates is there. Make sure you've got enough space. In Pilates we still move a bit of fresh air and the water. Let's start up and tall. We want to get the awareness of the body first. So barefoot are actually quite good because you can really properly spread your toes about. So have a feeling of how you stand. You want to feel each foot as much. So you're not standing more on the right than you do on the left. You spread your toes about, and if you look down, each toe has got its own little space. So you can, if you've got a bit of a bunion trouble, push your toes opposite direction to where they lean into the other toes. So you bring them all to the center, spread about. Now, can you bounce your knees? So we're not locking. You want to lift your arches, soften those knees, keep your pelvis very slightly forward, and your lower back has got that natural arch. That's all you need, just a natural. If you would see yourself in the mirror, you would want to have waist on the right and waist on the left even. Shoulders as well. And then turn your palms out with your thumbs away. And then pinch those shoulder blades together, pull them down, lift the head up tall. With the chin, you want to imagine you've got a tennis ball, or even better, golf ball between your chin and your neck. Head is high, and then just turn the palms towards your body, but your shoulder blades carry on pinching. You can close your eyes if you want to, and then just have a feeling of each foot. Right and left pressing down as much. You've got the pressure onto the base of the big toe, little toe and heel. And at the same time, you want the lift of the arches. We've got 3 arches under the ball of your foot, on the inner part, the most pronounced one, and also on the outside between your little toe and the heel. All 3 want to keep lifted. And then we get that breathing that goes to the sides of your waist. So we're using the diaphragm, open the umbrella, expand in every direction. Breathe out. Close the umbrella. Make your waist become a little bit smaller. You want to keep your facial muscles quite relaxed, so we're not holding any tension there. We are aware of the body at the same time everywhere, but we're not holding ourselves stiff or in any set position too rigidly. Keep your knees off lock. And start taking longer to exhale. So add on a couple of seconds at least. So if you're breathing for 4, you want to breathe out for about 6. To feel like gradually your shoulders are starting to let go. The neck becomes longer. The head doesn't feel too heavy on top of your spine. It's just like a balloon. It's just floating up there. And be aware of your right and left on how stiff or how tuned in you are to each side. It might be that you feel your right better than your left, that you can control one side more than the other, that there's a bit of looseness on one side compared to the other. And then contract your pelvic floor muscles very quickly. Hold, let go, hold, let go, hold, let go. You wouldn't like to clench your glutes with that or suck your stomach in. So from the outside, it's not really visible what you're doing, but you should be able to pull and tighten your bits so they hide inside of your stomach. And it's more of a front of the pelvis action and the back side. and relax, and then try to do 10 quick contractions in one go. So you go, hold, let go, hold, let go, hold, let go, tight, relax, tight, relax, tight, relax. And then open your eyes and move your head slowly down, chin low, and then chin to the ceiling, but we're not overstretching and extending, hyperextending your neck. It's just to look up. Chin all the way down, chin up, but it's still close to your neck. And with the arms, full position would be to hold on to the opposite elbows, but if that's too far, just anywhere along your wrists will be just fine. And then steady head tilting from right to left. Might be that one side will be tighter than the other, so you just want to slow it down, hold a tiny bit longer, and just work within uncomfortable range rather than painful range. And one more time each way, easy breathing as you do it. Good, then we're going to unfold the arms and then change whichever one is coming up on top. And then we're going to turn the head from one side to the other. Head stays right on top of your spine. And you're keeping your eyes on the same level as you go from side to side. Shoulders staying down. We're not pushing the ribs forward, so keep your arms a little bit close to the lower back rather than letting your ribs come up. And relax your arms by your sides. Bring that chin into the neck. Little reach forwards, into the neck. Little reach forwards. Try the funky side to side if it wants to go easily. If it doesn't, just leave it. Steady circle with the tip of the nose, just to join all those points where you stretched before, and then change direction. Lovely, easy shrug. So we're going to go all the way up and let go, all the way up, tense up and let go. One more time, both. And then we're going to do one, just the right, and let go. Then just the left, hold on tight, let go. Go 2 more times. Up and tight, let go. The other side, up and tight, let go. One more time each. Up, hold tight, and relax. And one more, up and hold tight, and let go. Good. Easy shoulder rolls back, like you're swimming the back crawl. Now change it for back to front, roll it in. Fingers on the shoulders, elbows up, round the back and scoop behind you. Up, round the back and under. And then reverse, back to front. And then the arms move front and back, and then start building more of a range there. So those arms move bigger and bigger, higher and higher. The bottom arm goes quite far behind you. Bring your elbows to the shoulder height. We go 1, 2, big open. Pull back, open. I must improve my bust. Does nothing to the pulse other than the stretch, but we're holding the shoulder blades tightly together, which should help you with your posture. Good, make sure you don't push the hips or pelvis forwards as you open your arms. There's literally no movement. All of it is in the arms and the chest. One more. Good. Rest down, hands on hips for now. Come on right up on the toes, head to the ceiling and rest down. So push all 10 toes as far down as you can, heart pressure, and head to the ceiling. So pressing the feet down, lifting your head up. Keep eyes forwards. So if you're looking down, you're likely to fall forwards and lose your upright position. One more of those would do us good. Perfect. Then we're going to turn heels in, toes out. So like a ballerina, and same. We're going up on the toes, rest down. Up on the toes, head to the ceiling, rest down. You should try to use your inner thighs a little bit more, quads and cheeks, and rest down. So brief hold, 2-3 seconds, and down. 2 more of those. And one more. Good. Now we turn big toes in and heels out. So we're coming up on the toes, which may feel awkward, may feel like there's a flexibility issue somewhere there, but we all need those different angles to work the muscles from all the way around. Different fibers run at different angles, and we want to attack them all or strengthen them all. Lift up, lift up, lift up. And one more. Challenge for the feet, challenge for stability, as always. And bring your feet parallel, shake it off, shake it off. A few squats. Toes open, sit back, stand tall, sit back, bottom away, head to the top. Chest is up, slide your hands down the knees, but then those knees push into your hands, so you open, stand up, open wide, stand up. Chest up, head up, keep sticking that bottom far away. At the same time, maintaining your tailbone up. Grip your toes. Two more. One more. Let's come back to your feet. Feet parallel. And we want to stand on the heels, lift the toes. So push the heels down, lift the toes up. Brief hold. If it's happening, that would be brilliant. So toes are up, heels are down. So we did that one on Sunday in our Pilates. My feet struggled in ankles, but now they're a little bit better. So it just shows you a little movement here and there. Really helps with mobility. Then we're going to do the same, but with toes turned out. So same 3 angles. So heels in, toes out. You don't want to go too narrow because you still need the balance. This one to me is quite easy to lift the toes. It might feel different to you. So heels down, toes up. We're not pushing the bottom behind you. Keeping the head to the ceiling. Little brace to help you hold the posture upright. One more. Good, and then toes turn inwards, which might be a little bit awkward. So we still want to lift the toes, keep the heels down. This one will probably be the hardest. Doesn't mean we can't try. Good. There will be some pull on the hips, quads, knees. So all of the leg from the feet up is going to be engaged. So it's not just you turning the toes out, it's going to affect the toes or the feet. It's everywhere up your body. Sometimes even up to your lower back. And bring your feet back to parallel, easy shake. We're going to go very wide on the legs now. Fold the arms. You want right hand, left on top. And your hands are pressing hard against each other. If you press hard, the muscles that bring the shoulder and the shoulder blades together, they're going to contract. So your arms are going to be overhead, right and the left pressing on it, on the knuckles. Keep your shoulders down, long arms, toes, knees out, and then sit down and low, lift up high. sit down and low. And as you sit low, open your knees, open the ankles, lift your arches, grip your toes, and keep your head between your arms. Only go as far as your mobility of the hips, flexibility of the legs allow you. Just 2 more, because this one's tough. Bum back. 1 more. That's good. Rest the arms. Roll the shoulders, go for the same width, and then the other hand. So you've got left, right on top, lift it up. Shoulders down, sit low, open the knees. You should feel your groin stretching. This one is hard. If you find it a little bit easy, maybe try going wider or lower. Open the knees, look at the arches. Are they still lifting? Push those arms against each other. Shoulders low, head high. 2 more, bottom away. And last one. Really good. Shoulders low. Keep your legs wide, toes out. Push the hips side to side. Those overhead squats, they always make me hot. You may feel hot as well. Now make it a figure 8. Up and round, up and round. Keep your knees soft in the joints. You don't want to lock knees. Now change direction on the figure 8. Smooth it out on the hips. Now turn your toes in. Push the heels out and the hips go side to side. You might feel much different to the toes opened. Might be easier, might be harder. Keep your shoulders low, head high, so we're maintaining a long neck. Now, same with the figure 8. We're going to go one way. And if you feel your feet are likely to escape the given position at the beginning, just make sure you readjust and then change direction. So toes turn in, hips move around. Whatever you can do on these figure 8. Good, bring your heels, toes close together, easy shake off. So we're going to go into the kind of a mid-run position. Step your one leg forwards, doesn't matter because we'll be changing. So one leg forwards, and as you lift the knee, you raise on a toe. So you step as if you want to walk, raise on the toes, step back, change leg. Step forwards, raise on a toe, step back. The first few will be hit and miss. The balance will be all over the place. Your brain will be learning how to deal with instability. So you raise on the toe, knee comes forwards, head is up, change legs. Up, lift, step back and away. Step front and up on the toe. So as per usual, one side you may feel, okay, this is all right, this is doable. The other side might be completely no-no. Just focus and be persistent. With repetitions, things definitely improve. Absolutely with balancing, because your brain starts communicating to the muscles more efficiently, learns the pathways, how to use your muscle fibers better. So you hold that balance and up on the toe. Calf should be getting a good workout as well. Right, shall we do 2 more? Up and on the toe. One more time. And it's still hard. I don't blame. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Lovely. We're going to go wide legs again. So we're going to go open knees, stand up, raise on the toes and down. Open knees, head up, raise on the toes and down. Open the knees. So this one, we keep the natural arch, open the knees, lift on the toes. When you go down and open the knees, you will feel your calf muscle stretch. It's not the first top bit of your calf, not with the 2 bulky bits. It's the muscle that's underneath. That's a little bit flatter, a little bit under. Open the knees apart, coming up on the toes. So we're going to keep the arms forwards, looking absolutely gracious. Down and up. Arms over your head are going to make you work harder. I'm going to make it more wobbly. So if you don't want to, hands on the hips is still fine. Open the knees, raise on the toes, lift up, down, up on the toes, down, up on the toes. Keep your head up high. That's good. One more time. Raise up, and rest it. Shake off the legs. Very good, very good. So we want to do a little bit of the movement with the hips, legs. We're gonna go one in front of the other, slightly, and then turn your toes out. So one in front of the other, toes are out, fingers behind your head. We there? Toes out, hips. Travel forwards, head to the ceiling. Now keeping your elbows open, stick your bottom back. We're not even going halfway. It's all about keeping your tailbone up, natural arch on the lower back, elbows opened. You squash your bottom, looking up, head like an egg in a basket. Then your bottom back, stick your tailbone away, elbows are out. Feel a good hamstring stretch on the front leg. Squash the cheeks, lift it up, and rest it. Good. Easy shoulder roll. Replace the legs. So we go one in front of the other, toes turn out. Squeeze the cheeks. Look up, egg in a basket. Then bottom back, knees can be bent. Lift the tailbone, feel like you're being suspended from the ceiling. Lift up, squash the cheeks, head up, chest up. Then bottom sticks out and away, head forwards, elbows opened. Remember, you mostly opt to feel it on the front hamstring when you're going back and forth. When you're lifting the head up, good clench on the cheeks, extend your chest. One more time. Bottom back, head forwards. Lift it up, hold on there, and rest the arms. Good. Replace the legs again. One front, one back, and this time your toes will turn in, and we just hold the hands. One hand wraps around the other wrist, so we should all be doing that fine. So one in front of the other, toes turn in. Push your bottom away, head forwards. Same action. You flex the hips, you extend the hips, lift the chest. We're not throwing the head back, pulling the shoulders away. So bum back, head forwards, natural arch, sticking that bottom away, lift up, chest up, little clench. Good. Hips behind you, head comes forwards. Lift it up. And last one. Bottom away, head to the front. And lift it up. Squash the cheeks, although it's harder with those toes in. And rest. Easy shoulders. Replace the legs. They both toes turn in. Now wrap around the other wrist. And if you keep the hands on your sacrum, that bony bit between your cheeks, right, before your cheeks split into two, that will get you a little bit more focused, that when you go down, that bit where your hands are supposed to be parallel to the floor. Lift head, chest up, some squash on the cheeks, chest lifted, chin stays close to the neck. Good. Bottom goes back and away, bum back, head forwards, and then easy squash on the cheeks, chest, head up, bottom behind you. That's good. Keep that chin close to the neck. So if you imagine having a golf ball between your chin and your chest, we're not really losing that ball. Bottom to the back, head to the front, lift up, squash tight, and one more time. And ready. Lovely. Feet under the hips, easy shoulder roll. So we've got simple shoulder action. Arms will come forwards. We're going to go forwards, down, forwards, down, then back, settle, back, settle. So if you start on your right arm, lift, reach, and settle forwards, then the other arm. Lift, roll, settle forwards. Then you go up, back, settle down, up, back, settle down. So lifted to roll it forwards, lifted to roll it forwards, up, settle back, up, settle back. So we want to keep those back of the shoulder blade muscles quite flexible. So we should be able to lift and reach, but also strong and stabilizing to settle your shoulder down in your trunk. And your head, neck don't really get involved. It's all about those shoulders. I've got you back, Sue. I thought you disappeared. And relax. So if you followed me, we did right arm first. Now we need to change for the other side. The reason why we change right and left, and same when we do LBT or weights, we change right, left, lead, is because it's a different neurological stimulation to the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain, because the messages then go across your body. So we need to start once on the right, once on the left. It's not always good to do the good side only, even if the left feels absolutely awkward. You go left forwards, right forwards, left, up and back, right, up and back, lift, reach, settle down, and then take it back and down. Soften those knees, head stays high, and make sure you always settle before you lift. So we're all quite good at shrugging and lifting, but we're not so good at settling down. And definitely, you don't want to feel any head motion with that. Head, neck, easy. Just the shoulders. Pelvis stay stable. Knees stay soft. Back, back, and rest. Lovely. Come on down, grab a drink. We'll be kneeling on the next one. You might need your block on the next one, so have your block handy, or a cushion. Cushion will be still fine. This stretch first would be quite good, so sitting back with your bottom, arms reaching forwards. Lift it up. So the first exercise, we're going to just do about the shoulder blades. So do we have a block? Show me what you got. What will you be using? They will know. That's it. Perfect. So we're going to place it just under your rib cage. So the block should cover your lower back. So it's in between your bottom and then the bottom of your rib cage. And that business there should not move. So whilst you have your block in that position, that area of the body should not move. Then we sink between your shoulder blades and pull ourselves away. So we don't want to move the spine, it's just a sink between your shoulder blades and push it away. Your head stays along with the spine, we're not letting the head droop. Down, push back up. Down, push back up. And the action is in your shoulder blades. Your shoulder blades literally do this. Pull back, reach forwards. That's what you do. Pull back, reach forwards. You're just on your hands and knees. If it doesn't feel like you can do it as a big motion, stick to the small range and make sure you do not shrug your shoulders. Open your fingers about if you need to go on the knuckles, but make sure you press the floor away from you. So we always engage as many muscles as we can to make the body stable and strong. Sink, push, sink, push away, sink, push away. And you should be at least getting a little bit warmer between those shoulder blades. That will do us good. Push. Nice one. Sit back. So the block, you may need it, you may not. I'll just show you the first thing. If you're quite flexible and you can come down, let me just change the angle there. If you can sit back on the heels and touch your head to the ground without any trouble, stay there. If you, however, need a little help, the block will go under the forehead. And we want the arms out the front with your thumbs up, and it's like a V letter shape. So your arms a little bit wider. We want to lift one arm at a time and lift up for 3 seconds. So one arm at a time. You lift it up for 3, 2, 1, rest. And then the other arm. 3, 2, 1, rest. Don't be surprised if it feels like you're not really going anywhere with that lift. Stick with it. 3, 2, 1, rest. Even if the lift is a minuscule one. Good. Keep your bottom down on your heels. If 3 seconds is too long, then shorten it out to 2. We want to work the muscles that connect your shoulder blade to your spine. Those are your rhomboids and lower traps. They usually are very weak. And they're definitely not as strong as the top half of those muscles that makes you shrug. So this is your anti-shrug exercise where you're pulling the shoulder blade down and away. Good for posture, good for spinal support, shoulder blade positioning, any overhead motion as well. And one more. Bring your hands under the chest to lift up. Roll your shoulders. So it's all about pulling your shoulder blade into your spine. So the muscles that bring the bottom corner of your shoulder blade into the spine. And they can be very weak at times. And they give us a bad posture. So very important. We're going to come back to this in a minute. First of all, let's come back to your block between the bottom of your ribs and your bum. We're going to do 2 actions. Open your knees wide, sink between your shoulder blades, push away, and then sit back into the rock. So that's your horizontal squat. Come back, sink, push and settle your shoulders as they are. Now sit back and away. Wider legs make it easier to sit further back. At no point you move your spine away from your neutral position. Sink, push, sit back, return on all fours. Sink, push back, sit back into all fours. Sink, push, settle those shoulders, bring your bottom back, and you might feel those hip flexors getting a good stretch, little pinch there maybe. So just see how much you can do. Remember, wider legs make it easier. And we never tuck the tailbone under. We never round the lower back. Keeping that tailbone up and lifted. Pretty good. 2 more. Excellent. Bring those legs a little bit closer together. If they work quite wide, remove the block. So again, you can use it for the head or flat down on the floor. We did the wider arms, and now we're going to go a little bit narrower. But the arms are, let's say, if you go just outside, so not wide, not quite straight up, just slightly outside. That's it. So try the same. 3-second hold. To me, with each repetition, I'll get better, but if you get more tired, then you shorten it out. Sit your bottom down, arms not as wide as last time, but not quite parallel. Thumbs are up, and then lift, hold for 3. If your head doesn't touch the floor naturally, head is on the block. If you're really struggling, lift the arm as you breathe out. So we're not holding a breath. We're not overcoming any extreme weight. We don't need to hold the breath, right? You're working your own body weight. It's not that heavy. We don't really need to hold the breath. Only the super powerlifters, they use the technique of bracing and inflating the lungs and then holding the breath for stability. But we're not lifting those extreme weights. It's only just your little perky arms. One more time each side will do as good. Bring yourselves up with hands under the chest. Roll the shoulders. So we're going to focus a little bit on the flexibility, but also still working on those shoulder blades. Block will be behind your feet. If you're using a book still works well. Down dog. Pyramid-like shape. We want to keep the bum up, hands down, feet down. We use the block under the heels to help us with flexibility. So let's go. Hands and knees. You'll have the block just behind you. Be prepared to move it about a little bit once you're up. We want spread about fingers and then lift that tailbone right up to the ceiling so we keep the natural arch. Curl your toes. Now come on up with your bum as high as you can. And on the toes. So pushing your bottom up, on the toes, looking between the legs. Now bend your knees, still stay on the toes, and let your tailbone stick up to the ceiling even more. Now bum up, draw your heels down. You might need to move the block a little bit further away. Spread your fingers about, look between the legs, bum up in the air. And then very slowly straighten up both legs and then bend them again. So we're going to move. Stretch away the backs of the legs and bend them in. Keep your bottom away. Push off the floor with the arms. So gentle stretch. It doesn't have to go far. It can be very small. Open the backs of the legs. Bend in. Open the backs of the legs. Bend in. One more time. And rest. One forearm, the other forearm, head on top. Lift it up. On the next one, I'll show you facing you for a moment. So we'll be up, holding the position as last time. And then we want to sink your head between the arms and then push it away. Your head travels towards the floor and we push off the floor. So your shoulder blades travel down the waist and then shoulder blades up your ears. Shoulder blades down, shoulder blades up, down, up. But first, we take your regular stance. Curl your toes. Move your hands a little bit further forwards, away from the knees. Curl toes, high up on the toes, up on your bottom. Now bend your knees and lower your heels into the block. Get a comfortable position with the legs. It shouldn't pull too hard. Now think about those shoulder blades and let them shrug up your ears and then pull them down towards your waist. So your head either comes away from your trunk or hides in your trunk. Come away and hide. Or whatever you can feel is happening with your bum in the air. So we want to do shoulder blades down, shoulder blades up, but you're upside down. That's all you do. And this is hard. I didn't say that, but this is very hard. I'm sure you can feel that. And coming down on your knees. One forearm, the other forearm, head on top. and lift it up. Really good. This last one, hard effort, really hard. Take a seat, and we're going to do what you've done standing, so you'll be easy. Feet together, knees apart. If you can't quite control your lower back, if your lower back is fine, bring your cheeks from under you. Find your sitting bones, so we're not sitting on the nice and squishy cheeks, we're sitting on the hard bones. Arms will be forward, so exactly like we did standing. Up, forwards, down, up, forwards, down. Then you're going back, up, settle, back, up, settle. So if we lead with the right arm, then a left, right back, and you do it for about 6 repetitions. Then we change it for left arm lead. Keep your head up, chest up. Eyes forwards will help you, will prevent you even from moving side to side, not twisting anywhere. Good. Rest it, roll your shoulders. Make sure you've got that natural arch in your lower back. Tailbone points slightly behind you. If nothing happens with the straight legs, bend your knees, still fine. Then you've got the left arm. So as you come forwards, you lift that shoulder, move it, and then lift on the way back, settle behind you. Keep your eyes forwards. We're not moving anything in the neck or head. This exercise should not make you uncomfortable around your neck. Don't overdo it, make it smaller then. Settle down, make sure you always settle down. Settle down. Up and back and down, up and back and down. One more time. And rest it. Roll your shoulders. Really good. Come on down, line on your back. And we'll have head on the block. Or a cushion. Still works fine. We'll be doing the frog leg action, which we did earlier standing. So that's like your heels together, knees apart, ballerinas. Before we do anything, we're going to be up in the air with the legs, fingers on your belly button, slide under. If your shoulders prevent you from keeping the hands at the right position, you just don't put the hands under. Because I had a lady keeping her hands under the bottom in the live class because she couldn't find the flexibility in the shoulders. I said it really doesn't matter what you do with the arms, but you must keep the lower back in a natural arch. So that's your priority. If the shoulders are struggling, leave the arms to it. Bum down. So we're going to get heels together, then your toes together. So all you need is a little twist. Toes together, heels together. Knees can be bent. As you turn your toes in, your knees will point in. As you turn your heels together, your knees will point out. Lower back doesn't contribute to this exercise whatsoever. Toes together, heels together. Toes together, heels together. Bottom is down, lower back is not down. If you're struggling with the shoulders, keep your hands there, you let go. And keep your arms by your sides, that's all. And rest it, shake it off, really good. That can be quite wearing out for the groin. We don't want to overdo it. And then let's do the frog legs. So as we start with the heels together, toes out, we then bend the knees towards the chest and you push your heels up, but at the same time, you settle your bottom down. Bend your knees, keep your heels together, toes apart, then push the legs up, press the bottom down. At no point, your lower back changes its position or its placement. It's off the floor. Your ribs are drawing down, so we get the nice stomach action on each side equally. Push away. So think about heels to the ceiling, bum to the floor. 2 directions. One up, one down. So you want to pin your bottom to the ground and stretch your legs to the ceiling all at the same time. Keep going. Can we stretch those legs a little bit more? And bring the inner thighs, heels together, just bottom down. Make sure you've got that tailbone on the floor as your legs press up. Bring your knees to your chest a little bit more. That's good. One more of those. And rest it. Long arms, long legs. Stretch away. It's an excellent leg strengthening exercise that is offload. So we're not standing on the legs, but we're strengthening the muscles all the way around. So for all of you with the treble joints, this is a really good exercise. Never puts any pressure on the joints. And because your legs are upside down, it's also good for circulation. So if there's any swelling, it will be really good. So we take the big toes together. This one will be easy on the legs. It can cause a slight spasm or pinching on the hips or feet. If that happens, bring your feet parallel and together, that's it. So same start, up, bum down, but toes, big toes turn in. You drop the knees towards the chest, but your bum stays down, lower back never down. Press it up, lower down the legs, push up the legs, draw down the bottom. Bend your knees, push up the legs, draw down your bottom. Bend your knees, bum down, legs up. If there's any kind of cramp, then just parallel feet will do as well. Big push, big push, big push. Bottom down still. Two to go, we can do that. One more. Really good. Stretch away, long arms, long legs. Lie down on your side. We're going to do some clams or oysters. We won't need the block unless you want it between your head and your arm. Bent knees, feet behind you. And then pay attention to your waist. So under your waist, on that side, you want to have a little bit of a gap, like with your lower back. So when we're doing something with the legs, your waist stays as long as the top and the bottom. We don't get any twisting. And on this exercise, we want the bottom to be slightly behind you and rolling forwards. Good? So we want also, block or a cushion between your knees, I forgot, because we're going both ways. So first exercise is to open your knees apart and they don't go very far. Feet will still stay together. Pin the knees together and then lift your foot up and down. Knees apart, squash. Feet apart, squash. Open, hold the block between your legs or just move it if it's starting to travel a little bit. Wherever movement you do on the hips, so that's your internal external rotation, whatever movement you do, your waist stays long. We don't get any twisting from the back. We're not utilizing your SI joints either. It's purely in the hip. Your hip is quite low, just there in the crease. And that is the movement we do. Knees never straighten up, and it's a pure motion from the hip. So side of the bottom, this is it. This is where you should feel you're moving from. And we ought to do so many repetitions that you feel over fatigued. It's only your body weight you're lifting. Easy legs, stable position. So you should be able to do quite a few repetitions, but you definitely want to do them good. So if they're starting to look a little bit not quite like we started, this is the time to stop. Right, couple more each way will do is good. And then give it a little rub. Maybe dig in your thumb into it if it was starting to get a little bit more upset. Good. Now remove your block. So the next option is harder. We keep the feet up in the air. Now lift the knees up in the air. Will they come up? If it's not happening to lift, you come back to the earlier exercise. If you can, your feet up and knees up. We open the knees apart and then bring knees together, open your feet apart. I'll show you from this side. So we're closing the knees, opening the feet, or closing the feet, opening the knees. And it's all done up in the air when you're balancing on the side of the other hip. Knees together, feet together. Knees together, feet together. Only looks easy. You're meant to find it quite hard. There's absolutely nothing about easy here. If it's not quite happening, come back to the previous version. It's still very, very much a hard exercise. Much more about the hip. This one involves your stomach muscles, your back muscles more. The legs still working hard. One more, let's do. And rested. Good. Rub it, hold it. Switch. Let's do it on the other side. And that'll be nearly it for today. Block first. You're on your side, feet are slightly behind you, knees a little bit forwards. You roll your hip forwards and keep your bottom back. So the first one is knees apart, close, and then feet apart, close. But we are staying stable. You've got some gap with the waist underneath, and you're absolutely not twisting. The twisting would happen in this position mostly. If you were lifting the knees apart, you may feel like you're rolling. So we're not promoting any of those. Absolutely no movement. Your waist is long. The space between your ribs and your pelvis is as long on the top as it is underneath. Knees apart, feet apart. Steady breath. There's nothing hard about it. It's mostly about mobility, but also isolating the glutes. That is the big one there. But it's just a small action, one joint action. Shouldn't be too bad to do. And we're working until some fatigue settles in. But if you're starting to not do those repetitions as good and as precisely as at the beginning, that's the time to stop. Form over many repetitions that don't look like the first one. Right, let's give a couple more of each. Lovely, give it a little rub and a massage, or even dig in with your thumb wherever you feel things were starting to get tighter. So test your strength first. Can you lift the feet up? Then can you lift your knees up? If it's not happening, you come back and you do your easy oyster both ways. If you can keep the feet and knees, then the knees open and then your knees come together, feet apart. So you always have either knees together, feet apart, or feet together, knees apart, and you are balancing on the side of the hip. And we're keeping the waist long, much more stomach work here, back muscles. Shoulder will help you to stabilize as well if you press that hand down. Long spine, breathing. Shall we do 4? Not easy. 3, 2, one more. Nearly there, and rested. Give it a nice little rub and massage, and use your thumbs, maybe even. Very good. Time for relaxation. Are you still there? Are you still there? Very good. So you're on your front or on your back. If you need a drink, have it. If you need a blanket, have it. And take a position. You won't be really thinking about how you lie down, and you can go straight into the relaxed pose. So whichever one you take, you want to feel opened. So none of the joints feels like it's holding you in a tense position. Quite the opposite, we're opening out. If you're on your front, You can start with the fist under the chin, but that would be for a minute, maybe two, and then just rest your head down. Shoulders away from the ears, easy breathing. If you're on your back, open yourselves out like an open book. So from the center, opening book. So you've got even pages to the right and the left. You've got that part in the middle, and you open. You roll your shoulders, arms out, and same with the legs and the hips. You open out. Open book, right? You've got the line from the forehead to the nose, to the lips, breastbone, stomach, and then invisible line between your legs. If you're on your front, choose your toes in or toes out, and that's it. We're going to focus much more on deep breathing. We've done lots of exercises that were supposed to settle your shoulder blades further away from the ears. So use that. Pull them away, keep them relaxed down. Imagine you're wearing a mask, so all those facial creases, they're all relaxing. There's no tension held in your face. Iron out the wrinkles. And start using your umbrella opening action into your diaphragm for deeper breathing. Open your diaphragm, spread out, increase the space inside of your rib cage for breath. Little pause, and then breathe out as slowly, as long as you can drag it. Close the umbrella. Make sure that when you close the umbrella, you're releasing all the air out and some. So a little pause at the end. Those slow exhalations, feel like all the tension, all the bits that hold you too tightly together, so the hips, the shoulders, the chest muscles are starting to let go, opening you, melting all that tension away in your body. And you're starting to feel more floppy. And then scan your body for any areas that are still in need of that relaxation, still in need of letting go. It might be just your brain that needs to let go. It might be the facial muscles of the hips. Scan your body, find them. And then breathing out, focus on that one area and let go of the tension, intentionally thinking about it. take a deepest breath you can and make a big sigh of relief. Nice and loud and out your mouth. So take a deep breath in and big sigh of relief. One more time. Deep breath in and easy out. Stretch long arms, long legs. Extra bit of length for the arms and the legs. Slowly roll yourselves over to lie down on your side. Knees can be bent. And then take time to lift yourselves up. Use your hands. And come around in the next few seconds. Don't rush to get up. Very good. Pilates done. Clocked in. Very good. How are you all? Are we alive? Very good. It'll make you feel so much better tomorrow, I'm sure. Thanks for joining us. Coming on tomorrow if you're free, 5:30. We've got the weights and we do a bit of extra all the way around. Why not? Why not? Join in. If not, have a good week. Take care, guys. Happy New Year if I won't see you tomorrow. Nearly forgot it's a New Year time. Bye, guys. Bye.